Welcome to Just Pardon, episode 2. Today we'll be talking about living out your dreams. Today we'll start on the right and come to the left. Today here I have, You want to start on the left? We can start on the left. We can start with Wayne Fields. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
My name's Wayne Fields. What's up? Jalen. Y'all remember me from last time. Welcome. Great to be back.
Welcome back.
My name is Michael. Hi.
What's your last name?
Michael
Jackson. My name is Michael Jackson. If y'all don't know me, my name is Zach Jeffers. Hopefully you subscribe to my channel. Hopefully you like this video. Hope you can get something out of it. As I said, today we'll be talking about living out your dreams. Let's start with a question we have here. Anybody could chip in, anybody can answer. What's one thing you would do if you knew you couldn't fail?
Succeed.
One particular thing you would do, not succeed.
That's a tricky question. Yeah, because it's like...
It's not a tricky question.
I can't fail at death? Wait.
What? Shut up.
I don't even know.
Okay, look.
I don't know how to answer that.
Look. The reason I don't like what if questions like that is because they're never true. Like,
it's not what if.
For those
thing, what would you do?
Even still, there's
no
circumstances like there's not a possibility of failure. So there's no point to why even waste your brain thinking about that?
What is the thing you want to achieve most out of anything in your life?
Happiness.
That's in the Constitution, pursuit of happiness.
I just watched that movie.
Okay, God, you guys are talking pretty general. I'm asking particular one thing. Like, I want to drive this car. Something. What is one thing if you knew you could not fail, you would try to achieve it?
I would be an F1 driver.
F1?
Okay, is that your goal? Because I think the question you're trying to say is what goal.
It's not particular. You could, if you have a goal, you can answer it that way. But
now you're trying to make it your own questions.
It's not my own question.
This
question doesn't make sense.
I told you what I mean.
See what he was saying?
Answer the question again, because that doesn't make any sense.
You did try to turn it.
Thank you. He does this all the time. He did it 3 times in the other video. He did it 3 times. I will point them out.
So you interpret the question however you want. You can answer however. If you think one of your goals is one of the things that you want to achieve over everything else in your life, you can answer it that way. But the question is, what is one thing you would do if you knew you would not fail?
For me personally, I'd probably go after a girl that
So who would that girl be?
This girl in school.
Oh, we won't say her name.
Shut up, punk.
Does that make you mad, buddy?
All right, cut this out. Edit. We're starting off.
This ain't getting cut out.
Say no. One thing I would do if I knew I couldn't fail, I don't know, because
Just gonna talk.
Hey, this is a dumbass question.
It's not.
I tried to help,
So,
but I got shot down.
For me, I guess what I would do if I knew I couldn't fail, the one thing I think I would do is probably trade options for life. Trade stock options for life.
All right, there's a few questions with that answer to your question.
Okay.
You say that is what you would do,
Mm-hmm.
but this is something you're newly investing your time in. Are you sure? Like, is this just for a temporary thing? As of like right now, you'll do that, or is this something you do
if I
for
would
life?
not fail, that means I'm going to continuously make money.
That is true.
Hella money.
No,
And
why?
money would bring the things that I want to do in my life. So
Yeah, well, don't face it, yo. That takes away all the fun of it, though. Like, think about it. If everybody could just be successful, it's no, strive. It's no risk. It's no...
I said one thing. I didn't say you succeed.
I'm just saying, but most people would choose,
the hardest thing.
Exactly.
Like, one of the hardest parts is, making money. You do that so easily.
Stock options it's hard. It could go south very quickly.
But you just said it couldn't. Based
Think
on
about
your
it.
question.
It's no fun.
It can go south very quickly. But if I could not fail at that, I would do it because then I could be able to do the things that I really want to do.
It's no fun when you don't have losing days.
Exactly.
It's
I
like
didn't say winning. I didn't.
sometimes.
That's not part of the question. I just asked you one simple thing. We're gonna move on from that question because you guys just.
Well, I mean, it's a weird question
You
because
answer the
nobody.
question.
None of you answered the question. I
Yeah,
did.
He did.
I said I want to be an F1 driver.
What is the F1?
So you know the real low cars with the wide wings in the front. It's like
Oh, so
open.
like the racing?
Yeah, the racing.
You
like,
already want to race? You want to do more damage to your body? I'm sorry. Edit.
They don't even damage their bodies like
I mean,
that.
it's a dangerous
Sometimes
sport.
you have crashes, but
It's
it's not
dangerous.
often.
It's pretty
But I mean, no,
dangerous.
because I mean, everybody likes driving fast, and this is more fun than NASCAR. Just going in.
Yeah, Mr. Camaro.
In the same circle.
Circle. All right, next question.
F1 driver. You guys don't know? Okay, cool.
Well, I just never thought about it.
I think that was a unique question.
Yeah, it was. So
He's
next
trying to get
question:
another feature.
Do you think people lack vision, or do you think they just don't dream big enough?
No, I think people dream a lot about what they want. It's a lot of barriers in front of people that's hard to break down, especially when you don't have a plan in place to break down those barriers. They seem like they stack up very quickly, and then you don't want to do it anymore because then it's just like.
So you're just basically saying like you have your goals, you see what you want to do, but then when the wall is stacked up against
the wall
you, you're like
stacking up, and you don't got a good tool to break down those walls. It seems more like impossible to actually do it. Then you just go on to the next thing.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I like that answer.
Like,
Oh, my turn. Well, I would say it's not a matter of people lacking dreams because, like, 9 times out of 10, you ask somebody what they want to do, they'll tell you, or you ask somebody, "Wow, yo, what do you want out of life?" They have a pretty good understanding of it. I think, like Michael said, it comes to actually being able to plan it out, like know the steps, do the necessary steps to get there. And I think another thing is we as a people are just very impatient as general. Like, we don't want to play the long haul when it comes to our dreams. We kind of want them to happen quickly, and when we don't see that type of reward for what we're doing, it can be hard. And then, like he said, with like all the obstacles and then adversities that's in place, it can be easy to forget about them. So, yeah,
So
I do think people have dreams, though.
Well, so I'll say I think both of you, you're not saying it, but you're leaning towards the side of you lack vision, because basically if you kind of lack vision, it's like I lack the ability to see where I could go with this, and I lack the ability to see how I can like basically wiggle through to get to where I'm trying to go, because if you can't see where you're going, then that's probably what's stopping you from continuously pursuing it. Because you can see your,
But that's more so of
goal.
That's more so of a thing of perseverance, and I would say vision. See, like the 2 problems I've noticed that people have, right, when it comes to like that vision and planning out how to achieve their goals and their dreams, right? Either they don't prepare for it in the sense they don't get all the necessary knowledge that they would need to go about achieving their goal, their dream, blah 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 blah. Like, yeah, but
Okay, bro, like this. So goals. A lot of people have difference between goals and dreams. Say the question one more time.
Do you think people lack vision, or do you think they just don't dream big enough?
Okay. Dreaming big, I don't really like the word dream. I like goals, because goals, you have plans. Dreams, everybody has dreams, and
It's a dream until you
actually plan out and
achieve
actually
it.
start executing. A lot of people have dreams, like, I dream to be this, dream to be that. Most times, those dreams aren't going to get fulfilled. And a lot of times when you actually have a solid goal with plans to execute that goal, it can actually happen. And with that, you need vision. When you create so it's a mixture of both, really. Vision's the main thing, honestly, because if you don't have vision, you're never gonna get nowhere. Like, it's like tunnel vision. You keep eyes on
okay,
your
but
goal.
he's not asking which one is more important. He's saying what do people lack more.
Oh, my bad. But like, people lack the vision.
I get. See, the way I see it, or the way I've kind of defined it as, is like goals are kind of like levels that you constantly like try to level up to get to your dream. So you have your big dream. This is what I want. Like, say my dream is to be an NBA player. Okay, so my first goal, make the varsity team as a freshman. My second goal, average this amount of points, rebounds, assists, blah, 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 blah. Third goal, go to this camp, blah, 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 blah. Fourth goal, get the D1 scholarship, then, keep going. That's how I kind of have viewed it.
Keep talking.
So I've kind of viewed dreams as like the big overall thing we're trying to get, and we set goals in order to get that. The problem is, along that journey, like he said, sometimes you're going to face a lot of adversity, and people don't have the perseverance to get through that, or some people just are not access the right information. Like, say I'm a basketball player at like a real prestigious high school, and say I'm a basketball player at maybe a not so prestigious high school. And we can
Tech.
okay.
I don't know what I'm saying. I ain't want to go to school like that. Like,
We come in freshman year with the same amount of skills, right? We had the same amount of skills, pretty much the same amount of time, play the same position. The player at the prestigious high school, he's probably going to have access to coaches and access to recruitment opportunities, access to things. While the player, he just think if he play good at high school, it's going to be enough. But he just doesn't know what else he should be doing. Because like one thing I've learned is if you want to achieve something big in anything, the average, even slightly above average, is never going to cut it. Especially if you want to make it big. It's never going to cut it. What separates you from the best is everything else, like all the intangibles and all the other variables. That's what really, it's never like just a straight line, okay? If I do this, I'm going to get there. You got to have this person in your corner. You got to know about this resource. And I think a lot of people don't have access to that information, number one, or don't take time to like do the research and look up, like see what is necessary. I mean, even for school, like it's so many kids I know graduating school now and trying to get into grad school and don't know certain things you have to do just from lack of preparation. So I want to say I would say it's more so in the category of lack of vision, but I don't view it as just vision because I think most people understand. I just view it as they don't prepare themselves correctly.
It's a little bit more complex than vision, yeah, of course. Anybody else on tripping? No? Okay.
Yeah, but when you're working towards those goals, like, you're not going to do all that stuff for no reason. You have to have vision. Like, you have to have the vision is the mindset to get there.
That's what you view vision as?
Well, what do you view vision as?
I view it as that.
So, therefore, you need to have that mindset to get there. You're not going to fight all that, trying to figure out all those resources, breaking down those barriers, as y'all both were talking about, if you don't have the vision.
Because the vision is basically knowing where you're going. Because if you don't have vision, you're just kind of blindly running towards something that you don't even really know what you're running to.
Exactly, but how do you get vision?
by seeing.
That is very true.
but the type of vision I said about the mindset, because I view vision and mindset as two very different things. So the kind of vision you're talking about, how do you get that? Knowing where you're going. How do you know where you go?
Well, a lot
Plan
of that,
it out.
Preparation is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I said vision is more complex, and of course it includes that. But I'm just basically like the general basis of it is vision. To me, it might be preparation for you, but it's different for everybody. Which do you think is worse? Not dreaming at all, basically not having a vision, or not acting on your goals?
Which one is worse?
They're both pretty bad.
Yeah.
But if you're not acting on your goals, I hate that. I really do. Especially when you have a goal, like I said earlier. If you have a goal, you most likely can have a plan to get to that goal. If you know you have a goal, you know you can get there, and you're not doing it, that's just very lazy. It's like, dang, why have the goal in the first place? You have no thrill. You have
Self-obstruction.
Only reason I would say not dreaming at all is worse, because to me that shows no hope. Like, most people who don't act on their goals, they're just lazy. And I feel like you can help somebody, or like you can work your way out of laziness. If you don't have any hope, that's pretty like what are you doing? If you're not trying to do anything with, see, that's one thing I really hate. I can be around lazy people. I can be around unmotivated people as long as they're at least trying to, or they want something better for themselves. Have you ever been around somebody that you can talk to them and you can see they truly don't want anything for themselves? They're just kind of like here. Yeah. Like that to me is like so draining and frustrating. And I get that a lot of people go through a lot of things, and I'm not saying it's always their fault, but to be around somebody with no hope, especially for themselves.
But a lot of people, just submissive. Like, they don't really want to work towards anything. It's like, you know, like a lot of, especially us, we have a mindset to do better, to be the best. Some people are fine with being normal, doing what, you know, making ends meet and living a comfortable lifestyle.
Yeah, to me, that's different. If you don't have no aspirations to do, I'm not talking about big, like necessarily do something big. If you don't have no aspirations to do something big, because I do believe that some people like need that, just the average, like, quiet lifestyle to themselves. I understand it. I'm talking about not wanting anything for yourself, like not even wanting that, not wanting to, like, not caring what happens. You just there.
You just wake up and it's another day, it's another day.
Damn, that's.
How I wasn't in the end.
Really?
Misery like that?
He said he was the only student up there.
Bro, it was wake up at 5:30. Damn, gotta do this again. At least I got
Can't wait to go back.
Ooh, all right, question for you, Wayne.
I wanted to answer my own question.
Go ahead, buddy.
So I think not dreaming at all is worse. Because you said not dreaming at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some of the same reasons. But I think, first of all, everybody on this earth has some type of purpose. And if you're not planning to live out that purpose, then I believe you're doing somebody else a hindrance, because you're supposed to, we are who we connect with and everything. So if I just wake up every day and I just sit in my bed and I don't connect with anybody, somebody's probably missing out on the blessing that I could give to them, or the blessing that I could receive from somebody else. So all the way we connect with people, if I'm never dreaming, I'm putting somebody else at a hindrance. That's going to put somebody, and that person's going to put somebody else at a hindrance. And all that, it just adds up, and it comes out to people not living in their purpose. And I don't like that. So.
I definitely like that, but they also, on the contrary, I definitely agree with that, but they could be hindering their success. It's better. It might be better that they are staying back, not going out in people's lives and just being a negative influence. I mean,
but it's better to you got to think about it this way. It's better to have those experiences. I'd rather have an experience of somebody hindering me, so then now I know what that's an experience, instead of like not even touching anybody at all. Because experience is experience. I can learn things here and there. You're gonna go through good things. You're gonna go through bad things. But not going through anything at all. That's not good.
And like, you can't. Having fear of going through something bad should not stop you from going for anything at all. Because, I mean, every time you're going to go through something bad. It's just a fact. But, question. Do you think that I guess that lazy, submissive thing, like you said, do you think that's more learned, or do you think it's like an innate thing that some people have? Based off your experience.
Like I said, a lot of things come into a factor like that. A lot of people, I know some of my friends that have been lazy, it came from a lot of other things, like family members. Like, a lot of things cause that to happen. Like, especially when nobody is there to push you to not be lazy. Like, you know, a lot of us have somebody, well, most of us have somebody that actually pushes them to do better. Or we have a drive off bucks because we, like, see somebody. We always want to be like, say, Ray Lewis, for example. You see him going crazy in the NFL, making money. You see him going crazy in the NFL, you want to be like him, so that job comes automatically. But some people might not have that at all, but they have the people who push them up, like, oh, go do that, go do that. But that also can deteriorate them from wanting to do stuff, because, like, you don't have your own say.
You don't have your own self-motivation if you're always waiting on somebody else to motivate you.
Yeah. But I'm not saying always tell you what to do, but sometimes somebody helping you throughout the way, like pushing you when you're trying to be lazy.
Yeah, I think even if you like never had internal motivation and like you need the external motivation, I believe that some people literally use external motivation until they're able to finally motivate themselves inside. Because some people aren't confident or whatever it is, they just can't build up enough in themselves to say, hey, I can do this. Let me go do this. I can do this by myself. I don't have to be lazy. I can achieve whatever I want to. But
I always thought about like a little kid on the swing. Y'all remember like going to the playground and getting on the swing, and y'all had to always have somebody push you when you was really young, until finally you learn how to kick. And I always remember it was the weirdest thing. Some people could kick by themselves when they was like 5 or 4. Other people could kick by themselves till they was like 8, 9. because everybody's on a different pace. Everybody's on a
8,
different.
9.
Yeah, but I knew a kid who could not kick by himself
8, 9,
till
that's
8,
not
bro.
even-
No, I'm dead. But some people just have a different path, and it takes
times on the playground.
time for them to develop their own skill and their own motivation. But eventually, when you do learn how to kick by yourself, and you can swing, and you can really like do it by yourself, it's crazy. But everybody needs that initial push. I would say in the beginning, it's like, and you can be that person. I always encourage other people, like, be that person and give that push to others if you have the ability to.
Okay. This is a long question because it has a quote in it. What do you think? What do you think of this quote? And you could think about it for a second because it's deep thought. The one who plants trees, knowing that he will never sit in their shade, has started to understand the meaning of life. What do you think about that quote?
Easy
It's
money.
it's literally like us now. We have to stop global warming and do all this for the future generations. Those are the true-hearted people that actually look for the future, look for the benefit of the future, and not for yourself. It's like destroying. It's literally like now destroying everybody. We talk about global warming, climate change. We know it's not going to affect immediately. We're trying to start something
Living for the
now.
betterment of all.
Yeah, like our grandchildren, grandchildren.
I feel like that's generational wealth right
Exactly.
there. Like you're grinding
Wow.
hard as hell to make this money so that your kids and your kids' kids don't gotta grind like you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll answer your quote with another quote. Well, another question. What will your legacy be? Your legacy be about you, or will your legacy be about what you left behind?
What do you want? Your
That's what
legacy
I
to be
believe.
about?
I don't even see my legacy as the. What was the first thing you said?
What do you want your legacy to be? Do you want your legacy to be about you, or about what you left behind?
See, I don't. The definition of legacy for me is literally what I left in my shadow. Who was behind me? Who was my family? What impact did I have on them? What I did in my life literally had. I don't want that to be viewed as my legacy. I don't view it as my legacy. So it's really about who I connected with. Not like I'm looking for people to come to my funeral, tell stories, all of that. But that's who I was. That's basically what people would view as my legacy.
You ever seen The Sandlot?
Yeah, of course.
One of my favorite scenes in it is when Babe Ruth comes and talks to, I think his name is Benny in the movie, and he tells him this: heroes die, but legends live forever. And I think with I don't know why I always remember that, because what that means to me is you can be somebody important while you're alive, and you can achieve great status. But if you're not doing nothing for the betterment of the next generation, then you're not doing nothing at all. So
who's gonna?
Well, okay. Okay, it's like this, right? I understand that, but that's not necessarily true.
okay, not doing
look,
nothing at all, but like
It's literally like Michael Jordan, right?
to do Kobe.
in
'Cause
terms-
Kobe's a legend.
Okay, wait. I will say this. Okay, in terms of Michael Jordan, what he did, literally, he just was himself. What was your original statement?
Heroes die, but
No,
legends
before
live
that.
forever.
You said, "What would your legacy be?" What was that question?
Well, what would your legacy be? Would your legacy be about you or what you left behind?
Okay, Michael Jordan's term is like what he did. He didn't mean to change the whole game of basketball. Like he didn't. He was just doing
just
himself. He
strived to
literally
be the best.
striving to be the best, going crazy. He didn't mean to change the shoe game. He literally changed the whole shoe. He created basically the shoe game. Like everybody's in the shoes basically because of him. And he didn't mean to do all that. It's just that's what he was doing for himself. He hasn't really done anything for, not that I know of, significant for other people. Like you were saying, for other people. Like, have you seen him do stuff like to really help out other people?
More social impact.
Yeah, social impact to actually try to help people. He just did himself, and that has made a significant change.
Based on what
That's gonna last forever.
what he was talking about at Kobe's funeral, I believe that he had, and I'm sure he probably donates to charity, uses that money and stuff, all that. But I think his impact is on the players in the NBA. He talks to them, he'll mentor them, but I don't think we're gonna see anything from MJ that he left a lasting impact on us. It's just about the players that are in the NBA, especially now after Kobe passed. I'm sure he's probably mentoring even more players because it's like, these players looked up to these guys. They want to, if you have an opportunity to talk to one of the legends that you saw growing up, that can do something.
But how is he a legend? But how is he a legend?
Let me ask you this, bro.
How's he a legend to me? Because he's
Let me ask you this, bro.
He's one of the greatest basketball players.
Do you know?
But how's that? That doesn't make sense.
Did you ever have a bowling coach?
Multiple.
Like, do you like remember one in particular?
I bowl.
Do you remember one in particular, bro?
I don't think
But
anybody
Wait,
asked.
hold up. No. Do you remember one in particular?
It's how he next
Just
go.
go ahead.
But go ahead.
Do you remember one in particular? Like
Yeah.
anyone that was important to you?
Yeah.
Like, what did he do for you?
He just showed me the fundamentals, got me to be better now.
And do you consider he had an important impact on what you love to do with bowling?
Yeah.
All right. Only reason I'm saying it is because I never met the guy. I want to know if I'm Adam. But that's someone that had an impact on you because he did something that you wanted to do, so you went to him for help. So when it comes to these... Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. When it comes to these, like, these celebrities and everything, I get what you're saying, but we may not feel that impact just because I don't have any aspirations to be an NBA superstar. Yes, I love watching the NBA. I love watching Michael Jordan, but it's not in me. Like, to somebody like a Kobe Bryant back in the day, or a Kawhi now, or LeBron James now, the same way like your bowling coaches impacted you on what you wanted to do, Michael Jordan had that impact on them, and then they're going to have that impact on others. So it's not necessarily about doing big social things all the time, and I'm sure he does. I'm sure it's under the radar.
Well, I still don't understand.
Don't you
I think what
understand?
he's
He's a legend to society because he changed a lot of things. But how is he a legend to y'all? Like, really, what has he done for y'all that significantly?
I'm a part of society.
Okay, you can say that he might have influenced the shoes. I know you care about shoes.
Well, okay.
What reason?
Truth be told, he's not like. I get what you're saying.
How is
He's
he a
not.
legend?
He's
not
not
like
a
a
legend to
legend,
me.
like,
He's not a
literally a
legend to me. He's a legend in society. He's a
To the
legend to the
world.
game. But he's not a legend
understand.
to me. We are like when it comes to like people who are legends to us. We all gonna have different people because different people gonna impact us differently based on what we want to do. Like your bowling coaches may be a legend to you, not a legend to me.
Hold up.
He's just a more social public
The
figure.
thing is that we were talking about legends in terms of like what they done. Or I don't remember exactly what you said, but
It was.
He planted a tree and his.
I thought that was the last one.
It was
Was that the last question?
he planted a tree. It was like the guy who plants a tree knows he'll never sit in the shade.
Yes.
We was talking about generational wealth, setting things up for your generation.
I'll use Obama as a good example of a legend versus Michael Jordan as a bad example. I'm not saying I've done research on all this, but we all know what Obama has done.
Do we?
What has he done?
What
do you know?
Okay,
That's I was about to ask you what the policy Obama put out,
Exactly.
bro.
Exactly.
People
I'm not
love
saying-
Obama.
I'm not saying I ain't gonna say nothing like Obamacare, what he's done like in politics, but I'm talking about in terms of
He became the
Society.
first black president. Okay, let's just say that.
not just that.
That's a lot to look up to.
That's a lot
Even
to
if
look
you
up
don't
to,
do
yeah.
anything as president, that's still a lot to look up to.
They created precedents.
Yes.
Not ain't need to president. That's kind of, but they did those. But like, and then maybe Obama isn't a good example. Were they? I'm only saying Obama because I know he's actually done some stuff for the society in terms of like you can actually
Well,
see
he was
has-
the president.
He gives back.
Yeah, he gives back. He cares, and he always like every. I know a couple people that met Obama. I know a couple people that met Jordan. Every time they said they met Obama, smiles, talking to him, said he met Jordan. They didn't. Jordan
He's a
didn't look his way.
competitive spirit.
Okay, I understand
He's
that.
a different person, bro.
I know he's a different
damn
person.
man, bro.
Okay.
One of my friends seen him, yo, like he's actually like the man, yo, like his whole demeanor.
Locked
Is,
So the
in,
fact that he
he's them.
doesn't. This is after he's retired. What are you locked into?
Hey,
He's
you
just
can't
locked into
lock
life.
into
No, that's just
Bro, those-
I don't appreciate.
Do you know how
You need
Kobe
to-
was? He just locked into everything. Anything he said he
Bro,
was going to
I
do.
promise you,
He's just
one
locked
of
in.
the greatest competitors in this world are not necessarily nice people. I'm not saying he's not a nice person because I don't know,
understand that.
but that man literally went onto a court said, "I'm trying to kill somebody. I want somebody to
Okay,
never play
but-
basketball again."
Okay, some people see them as legends because they see that they want to be like that. They appreciate
No, it's
how
not
he's
even
like
that
that. It's
they-
like the Mamba mentality. They appreciate what he's done in terms of how he did it and how he did it.
Right.
But that's why I was going back to legends. Like,
Okay, how is
Why?
Obama a legend to you?
okay, like you said, in my opinion, the fact that he literally, how many presidents has been?
He was the 44th.
Yeah,
Yes, all those and pretend slavery through all that. It's like, what movie was that? The Help or something. At the end, they showed Obama become president.
That was the Butler.
yeah. Basically, it just shows.
Yeah.
Just shows how all the America's been what we've been growing on, all this slavery, racism, all that, beat the odds. Just beating odds, and that's way different than I would say basketball. He wasn't the first black NBA player, none of that. He did his own changes, but in certain significance, actually bettering a community Obama has bettered the black community. It's actually done something for
He changed the game.
He changed.
So Michael Jordan changed the game in the way. Let's say he changed the game this way. So he just made it all the more competitive. So now if Michael Jordan never was to be as competitive as he was, if he was never to say, "Oh, I want to be the best," and to strive to just completely obliterate everyone, then we wouldn't have LeBron growing up saying, "I want to be Jordan." It would literally, like I was saying, it would stunt people. It would stunt the growth of people behind you.
What you're doing is you're making it. You're doing like, I think it's called the fallacy of circumstances. You're saying Obama's circumstances, in a sense, were greater than Jordan's because Obama was the president and Jordan was just an NBA player. So it's like, of course, it's going to be a bigger social impact. But with Jordan dead for what, like me, I can never do what you're going to do in life. It was never Jordan's purpose or mission to become a president or become even a politician. His sole purpose was to be a basketball player, and he did that better than anybody else ever has.
Let's use Ray Lewis as an example. Okay. And after this, we done talking about this.
No, we're going to get this.
No, let's use Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis, he's a legend to you, correct?
Yes.
That man actually writes books, talks to people, helps people. He motivates people. He does stuff to actually consider him a legend. Not only did he did what he had to do in the sport, but he changed everybody around him.
Okay, so I just have to ask this one question. Is Michael Jordan not a legend?
That's what I just said. I don't think I can consider him a legend. So what he's done to the game is
legendary.
What he's done to the game is legendary.
Be different.
You saying like
not
in
really.
order to be a true legend, you have to have a big societal impact.
Well, okay, I say Curry's a legend.
What?
Okay.
Curry.
What?
Who's
you would classify Steph Curry.
talking about Curry?
You would say Steph Curry is a legend over Michael Jordan.
Okay, I will, and it also is in terms of times. I'm not saying Michael Jordan is not a legend. He's not a legend to me.
But
okay.
Steph Curry
are you
is
saying?
a legend to you.
Can you acknowledge he's a legendary basketball player?
Yes, he is. In terms of the game,
he's legendary basketball player.
Yes.
To you.
Some people will say.
LeBron. Here we go with this LeBron nonsense.
Okay, but bro, understand that.
I like Kemba Walker.
You said what?
Like Kemba Walker.
It's okay, folks.
I'm not a basketball person.
Yeah.
Me neither. I'm just thinking about. And it's
How
in terms of
how is Steph Curry more legendary than Michael Jordan?
Steph Curry, I've seen his face more. I've seen him do things. I've seen him I've seen him more. Like I've seen him
say that, yeah.
nicer. Like we've been. Maybe I'm not used to Michael Jordan. I know what he's done. He's done some great stuff. But in terms of actually just doing stuff, showing his personality, maybe that's what it is. I haven't seen him contributing back to society. Like what else has he done? Like I've seen Curry. He always smiling and everything. I've always seen that.
You think
I've
always,
never seen.
all you're saying is you've seen Curry always smiling. What has he done to contribute
That's
to
what I'm saying. I
society?
don't know exactly right now. That's why I'm saying he's more legendary. I don't just see it as what he's done playing the game.
Howard's golf team.
He did?
Who?
Yeah.
I thought
He helped start Howard's golf team.
Oh.
I think recently him and his wife just donated for the COVID-19 John.
Yeah, everybody.
But I agree with Wayne saying. Like, I definitely see Steph Curry's face when it comes to contributing back to society more than I do Michael Jackson.
Oh my god.
That's the truth, bro. What is
Michael Jordan?
Just because he did so good,
bro,
he hasn't done anything else.
I wouldn't know.
He just played basketball. What else has he done?
Bro, I don't.
His people that for his company
you wouldn't see it, bro.
Made him make the shoes.
You wouldn't see it. The only places that I could imagine him giving back to is either Charlotte, where he currently owns the team, North Carolina, where he grew up, I believe.
Then how is he a legend, Tim?
And then Chicago.
How is he a legend, though? He's just a legend because he's good at basketball?
Yes.
That's why he's a legend in terms of basketball. Legendary to me is just more than just...
Okay, but that's your opinion.
So you're saying he's a
like
legend
some people
in
are legendary
basketball, but
at
he's not a
bowling.
legend in society?
Yeah, I mean, like some Hall of Famers in bowling.
Come on, y'all.
Like they're legendary bowlers. Like they're one of a kind bowlers.
They're legendary basketball players, yes, but in terms of legend, in terms of
everything, okay,
everything.
I can
Fine.
understand.
Like Obama's a legend
to society. But the other examples you use are not legends to society. Just because they may give back and be Steph Curry cannot be a legend to society.
We look at people who are higher in terms of higher class.
I mean, in this day and age, I can kind of see what he's talking about with Steph Curry because Steph Curry did change how the game is played.
Yeah, he did. He's a legend to basketball. I'm not arguing that.
He's definitely legend back.
Yeah, I'm talking about to society. You're talking about, okay, so legends to society may be like a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X, Gandhi.
Yes.
People like that.
Yes, those are legends. Okay, the question you just said
was society. That's what
the
I'm saying.
whole point was legends. We're not talking about legends like You can't say he's a legend just because he played basketball good.
Okay, fine.
know,
I'm trying to vibe with you here. So you're saying that it's classifications to legends, and you're talking about like an overall legend, like a legend to society. You have to leave a lasting impact. I agree with you there. I will not say there's no way Michael Jordan is on the same level as Martin Luther King in a legendary status. No question about that.
Wow. I ain't nothing compared to them. Maybe I will be soon. But
You will be, buddy.
You're something. I don't know what it
It's
is.
like
but
barely.
you're something.
But I could understand. Curry could consider him a legend to society, because if you think about it from a psychology perspective, what Steph Curry did, he not only changed the game and now people shoot threes more, but Steph Curry was so small. And not only does that make smaller basketball players like, okay, yeah, I could possibly make it, but it's a life perspective. Like, okay,
It is a life perspective, but
it's a life perspective.
Yeah,
If I bro, some people
society,
literally because a lot of people just compare things to sports. So if I'm just if I'm doing something, let's just say I'm doing something in class, or let's just say I have a goal, and it's like the odds are stacked highly against me, more than it would be stacked against him. Let's just say that they're stacked higher against me than him. I might compare my life to sports, because a lot of people just compare their life to sports, the first thing they really see. And they're like, okay, if Steph Curry could do it, I could do it. Steph Curry, what was he, like 5'11", barely 6 foot? In college, didn't phase him.
If anything, Curry did better. Think about it.
Ooh. Did better than what? Hold on.
I'm not saying in terms. Okay, he overcame
okay.
He did better in terms of.
Choose your words.
Like you just said.
Very carefully.
That's what you saw.
Choose your words.
Michael Jordan is clearly the best.
Carefully.
He's clearly the best. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in terms of, like you just said, he was shorter. All that. Like shorter. Start. Like you said, change the game short. Not everybody shot.
Okay, but the thing is, though, y'all giving Steph Curry credit because he reached the level that most people don't reach, which I understand. But there's so many stories across all sports that have similar.
Where you get that from?
You're saying he gave people hope, basically. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but yes, I get what you say. He's a smart guy. It's so many stories across sports that come. It's a guy in the NFL with no arm.
Yeah.
What's his name?
A lot of Shaquille Griffin.
Exactly.
I just never cared because I never had no arms. It's stuff like it's like you said, sports. We watch sports all the time, so we're gonna directly relate to sports.
Connect to.
Yes, it's like what you connect to.
People's daily lives.
Some people who I don't even like saying.
So
I don't get. Some people literally don't have any arms. They're gonna see him as a legend to them because they can relate.
So I don't get how you can say because Steph Curry had to overcome the odds because he was shooting and change the game of basketball with shooting the three. That he's more legendary to society than Michael Jordan. If you're literally saying that people connect with sports, Michael Jordan literally has like one of the best sports stories all the time. He is on the Mount Rushmore of all sports. He's probably, I'm not lying. You know how many people?
Hold on, go ahead, Michael.
Wait, you gotta go deeper into that.
What is he?
Wait.
He's on the as far as sports figures go, he's on the Mount Rushmore.
Okay, but you said
before that, you compare it to how Stephen Curry had to defeat the odds. That's what I'm telling you.
What?
Right.
He said when you said Jordan, you basically made it sound like Jordan had the same road as Steph Curry.
What
like,
is Jordan?
He was under.
I'm not saying he had the same road, like he was undersized and everything. I'm saying he literally has become the greatest basketball player to the game. So yes, I get what you're saying. That Steph Curry probably had more adversity as far as his height go. But if I'm somebody I'm trying to achieve something, who am I going to look up to? The very best that ever did it, or somebody that had to overcome slightly greater odds that may not even apply to me?
It depends on where you come
from. I promise you, on the landscape of the world, Michael Jordan has inspired way more many people than Steph Curry has. I believe with the entirety of my heart.
He's been in the game way longer too. There's so many.
He's been through more generations of people to come than Stephen Curry has.
I'm just saying, I don't see how y'all can say. I get what you're saying. Maybe Steph Curry has shown his face more, and Steph Curry is a more personality in society than Michael Jordan is. But I don't get how y'all can say Steph Curry.
I just don't get why you're saying just because you did good he did what he was supposed to do and did better. He did you're supposed to do is better. Like you're supposed to do the best.
He became the best.
I know. You're supposed to strive to be the best.
Right.
Man could dunk from foul. Like
it was ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. I know that. But I am saying it's more than just doing that.
Okay, I'm not arguing with that. My only argument comes from the point how y'all can say Steph Curry can be a societal legend, but Michael Jordan isn't. That's what I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Just because Steph Curry is shorter, you can.
He said that.
Okay,
I
so
said because it's a mentality.
you not compare mentalities with anybody. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan went to 6 NBA finals and won all 6 without going to a game 7. Was an MVP. There's no way you can tell me there's a better mentality than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan literally said when everything was on the line, when everything mattered most, he performed the best. And you telling me that mentality is less dynamic than overcoming odds?
That's a regular mentality.
He just played the game. That's what we're saying.
He played the game to the best of his ability.
Yeah.
So did
Stephen
Steph
Curry was set behind.
And he made it.
He was put a footstep back, and that's what most people in life are. They're put a footstep back. Not everybody is gonna be like, okay, it's not always an even race. Some people are gonna be back here.
That's true.
And most of the time, you're not always equal. You're not at the front, so you're in the back. So you're like, okay, who do I compare myself to? I compare myself to Steph Curry because I'm back. I need to get up and ahead of the people in front of me.
Honest question: are you saying that on the landscape of things, you think Steph Curry influences more people?
Because of the mentality, I believe he can be considered more of a legend to society.
I disagree.
Than Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan's mentality.
Michael Jordan is the legend. Yes, he's the legend of the NBA.
No, we're not talking about the NBA.
I get what you're saying. Back
The
to your
basketball
original
world,
thing,
period.
bro. I don't remember exactly what you said. There's stuff between. What was the question? It's between
a hero and a legend.
Yeah, hero and a legend.
That was a quote. The question I said was, what do you want your legacy to be about you or about what you leave behind?
Yes. Michael Jordan was more so about him.
And Steph Curry is more so about what he left behind? Is what you're saying? That's what you're saying? No, answer me,
Not
nigga.
really.
Don't give me that. Thank
Not
you.
really.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, because they both
We all agree on that, though.
They
Thank
both
you.
left behind.
My only.
But I'm saying to society, what's name left more?
That's my only argument.
Wait.
That's my only argument.
All Michael Jordan did was do himself.
Oh my God.
He just did the best for himself, and he left behind stuff unintentionally.
God.
He didn't mean to do that.
What do you mean he didn't mean to do that?
He didn't mean to leave stuff for people.
And that leads right into my next question, though. Okay, when you're
Here you go.
Sorry, I had to get one.
All right.
That's
When
ridiculous. None of these NBA players would have all these sheet things and it. But okay.
God dang.
Idiot.
Jordan lover over here.
More people say Curry when they shoot than Michael Jordan.
All right, I don't know about that.
That's when they
we're
shoot
done with
threes.
that.
That's when they shoot threes. That's
We're
when
done
they
with that.
What do people say? Oh, Michael Jordan. They don't dunk and say none of that.
Who you get dunked like Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan.
See, nobody says
I've
that.
never heard anybody say Michael Jordan.
That's what I'm saying.
I've never heard anybody say Curry.
Kobe. Niggas say Curry.
It's Kobe. Never heard that.
No, Kobe is when you're shooting a crazy ass.
I've never heard Curry, bro.
I have had Curry when niggas shoot threes. Curry, and then they do that little run back shit. I have seen Curry when people shoot threes.
I've never heard anybody.
Y'all
We're moving on.
Oh, y'all do suck at
We're
basketball.
moving.
Yeah, y'all don't play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah,
want to
we
believe.
still bet $50. What's up?
Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
We're moving on to the next question. The question is so basically let's just say Michael Jordan, since that's what we were just talking about. When Michael Jordan was playing and when he was achieving all of that, do you think people realize the impact that they're going to have in on future generations and stuff while they're doing what they're doing? I don't think people really realize until it gets later on.
Okay, it's only when you start something, it's like a business.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I ain't gonna talk about some article. Okay, you'll use Jordan. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant to the fact, but I don't think there's a lot of people before Jordan to look up to.
Kareem, Bird, Magic.
Jordan, what is the time frame? I didn't know that.
Not a last.
Jordan. Okay, so Jordan kind of started during those guys' prime. So when Jordan started, Bird and Magic was in their prime. Kareem was before them.
I'll say it like this.
Wilt.
Think about
Bill.
Say Stephen Curry one more time. Say he's playing. He can be thinking, "Dang, Jordan did that good. I'm gonna be this nice that people gonna look up to me like that." So yes, I think you can do it. But say Jordan, I'm just gonna act like I still am ignorant. Act like you didn't try to use an example where you didn't think there was anybody before you. You don't know because you're going to literally be the first. Okay. See what I'm saying?
I was about.
Okay, say for me like Bolden. Say there was no.
You Martin Luther King.
Yeah, say Martin Luther King. He didn't know nobody. He had nobody else to look up to, so he didn't know that it was gonna go that far.
He looked up to Gandhi. The only thing that I can think
look
of
at
in the sports world, the only thing I can think of in the sports world is Serena.
What a woman.
Nah, she might be on the Mount Rushmore sports figures too.
Might.
What the hell?
Sucks as your mother.
She is one of. She's literally the greatest.
Yeah.
The greatest. Actually, she might be the greatest athlete. Bro, her dominance is ridiculous.
It is, but athlete, bro.
Athlete.
Who would I put up there? I'll put Michael, Serena.
Okay, this is not a
Muhammad. I'll probably put Muhammad Ali. Who else?
Nobody cares about that. Okay, back to the
question.
What was the question?
I forgot the question.
It was like when you're in the midst of greatness, like if I'm achieving greatness.
No, you can't, bro. You can't.
You can't realize.
You can't tell. I mean, you can realize, like, to a certain extent, you can realize I'm about to reach people.
Yeah.
But you can't really know that you're going to be the top of everybody's top list or whatnot
20
for
years
generations to come. Like, you can't.
Okay, because it's
I'm
no
gonna
taking
get
how
away from
society is
sports.
going to impact it.
Okay, think about stocks, right? You know what we're doing with stocks. Like you said, and that's a whole nother thing. We can, same way sports and stocks, go ahead and we can make money as much as we want. We can choose whether we want to help other people or not. Sports players, they can do the same thing. A lot of people don't choose to help other people along on their journey. They don't do that. But like when you're doing stocks, you make money and your goal is to help other people. Like you can have your mind now like, dang, I can really be what people look up to in terms of stock. You can think about that right now. So I'm just gonna get away from sports.
Well, for somebody that does that, let's just do music because music is the easiest. I think when people make music, they are not necessarily always making music saying, "Oh, I want to blow up. I want to get this status. I want to do this." People are making like the real musicians and artists. They make music that pertains to them and how they express themselves. Right? Like you ever seen the NWA documentary Straight Outta Compton?
Okay. Documentary?
Yeah, well, the movie. That's not a documentary, but the movie. It was a scene in it where they were like, "Dang, yo, we just want to make music for some niggas around the hood."
That music is one of the only things where I think like when you're in the midst of making music, you won't know if it's gonna be great if it's gonna impact.
I don't think that's true,
bro. I don't think you can make something and be like, "Yo, this is gonna be a banger forever."
Yeah,
some people do think that.
They might.
Okay,
Yeah,
think
but
about
you can't know that, bro. You can't know that, bro.
Think about NBA YoungBoy. That man has multiple times said, "I do not care about the fans or none of that. I do this for me. I do this to make money." Some people look up to him all the time with the music. All they listen to is him. He does make some nice music. Some could disagree, but like he does.
I like man.
Yeah, but he does not care about his audience. He has no impact. So going back to the legend stuff, why would you call him a legend when he doesn't really care about you?
Him a legend.
He literally just doing him.
That wasn't the question. The question was when you're in the midst of doing something great. When you're in the midst of doing something great, do you realize like the kind of impact it might have, especially like a long lasting impact? I'm sure when Tupac was making his music back in the day, he did not like
no.
I
think after he's got where he was, I really feel as though the next song he makes, he says, "Okay, I know this can impact people's lives."
That is one thing. Okay, I might agree with that because
I'm talking about over now.
You know
You think Tupac knew when he was making music that his music would last 3 decades? And
I
he's still considered the greatest.
Bro, I think once he got to his peak and realized how much.
Okay, no, maybe not once he got to his peak, but why he's getting there. Yeah.
That man actually helped.
What? Are you kidding me? Tupac is one of the. Jesus.
See, okay, let's just take modern time. So let's just say Drake.
Times are bad.
After Drake dropped, let's say I think what is it called? If you're reading this, too late. If you're reading this, it's too late. Something like that with the white cover. That album. I think after that album, when Drake is making his songs, I think he can tell, like, because at that point you kind of know your audience, so you know if what you're making is gonna hit or not. Drake knows when he's making a song. What the?
Michael
Hurricane.
When you're making a song, you could know if it's a banger. But at the beginning, like if you don't really have an audience or you don't know your audience,
you don't have
then you won't know. Especially in music, you won't know. Okay, this is gonna hit. This is going to leave a lasting impact for decades to come.
Not only that, do you think Drake's music is going to leave a lasting impact for decades?
We had this discussion. Yes. I had it with Devin. We was like, okay, Lil Wayne.
Yes. Without a doubt.
Lil Wayne versus Drake.
Lil Wayne without a doubt.
Lil Wayne's going to have a longer impact than Drake because Drake's music hits because of the time we're in.
Exactly. Lil Wayne speaks through generations, bro. Without a doubt, Lil Wayne's gonna have a lasting impact.
Oh, they're both gonna have a lasting impact.
I'm talking about
his impact will
I'm
be
talking about
longer.
our grandkids gonna be like, "Hey, Dad, you used to listen to Lil Wayne? I mean, Granddad." You said, "Yeah, little nigga, come here. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot."
No, I don't think so.
You don't think Lil Wayne's gonna last to our grandkids? Will?
It depends on what the songs.
Grandfather.
It's like Michael Jackson.
Grandkids
He's
will hate
made
you.
music that's actually like some people like. I feel as though harmony, like what you hear, the quality of the music, and Michael Jackson made some good quality music. Last through time, regardless of the time. Some of Lil Wayne's music is based off of the time frame.
I'm not saying all of it.
I don't think, and I think Drake makes more music where it's based off quality and melody. And
I think Drake makes more music for the time. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think some of his songs, but I think Lil Wayne's make music rapping like this. I think singing will always go way longer than rapping because singing you actually hear quality when you're singing. And Drake has made more songs that are off of singing and.
No,
and
I think
quality and art.
I think real rapping will go longer than to
what?
me real
you think rapping's gonna go longer than actual
what Drake does?
Quality music and melodies?
Both of them.
No.
The thing is, both of them will go long.
So you're saying Biggie's music hasn't lasted that long, bro?
It's lasted long because we're still in a time of rap. Like back in the day, they never heard of rapping. Rapping is fairly new.
It's not that. It's the fact that there's an audience. So basically, Hov's music is just
Hove.
I
didn't hear
H-O-V.
Hove. All right, my bad.
Jay-Z.
Just say Jay-Z.
Hove. That's what we call him. He's Hove.
He's Hove.
So his music,
his first name?
his music still has no.
It's not me.
Wait, what is Hove, yo?
That's
basically
the greatest rapper.
Wait a minute, no, he's
That's
saying
what you call Hove.
What,
the greatest
really,
rapper.
Bro, I really don't listen to rap music. I mean,
that
I
is
don't know
is
Hove,
that like an actual definition?
Hove?
That's what they
basically
call the game calls the best rapper
Hove.
Where did that come from? Who made it?
H-O-V.
H-O-V, like that seems like a made up.
Yes,
H-O-V lane?
H-O-V.
Hater vocals? Like what does that mean?
That's actually not a bad idea. That's actually not a
Hate just mean Hove.
Hove.
Short for high.
Wait, what? Wait, say it out loud so everybody can hear.
What is
Hove rapper.
What does it mean?
Jay-Z pops up.
Yes, Jay-Z.
I know, but what does
called
Hove
himself
mean?
Hove.
Say why they.
You can code that.
Why do they call it? Oh, it's a play on words for Jehovah. Hova, short for Jehovah, is a play on words for Jehovah.
I don't like
So
that.
Jay-Z
made
has
that
called
own
himself the God of rap.
So
I
he
don't
made
like
his
that.
own name.
I don't like that.
The God of
I
rap.
no longer like that name. I thought it was actually cool calling him the God of rap. That's blasphemous.
No, but
Blasphemous.
I can't
Okay,
not call a
back to
nigga
what I
Hove.
was
The
saying.
nigga's Hove.
Back to what I was saying. So Jay-Z's music to this day it still has an audience. The audience is mostly like older people that grew up on his music. But music like what you're talking about, Michael Jackson, Drake, that will always have more of an audience because it'll get more playing time. Because it's not as vulgar, not as many people go through what Jay-Z went through growing up. Not as many people went through what Jay-Z gone through growing up, and not a lot of people really want to listen to that type of music all of the time. But there's more time and there's more of an audience for Drake and Michael Jackson's type of music. That's why I'm saying I think Lil Wayne's music it'll last longer, but Drake's music will have more of an audience before Lil Wayne's music has more of an audience.
I think Lil Wayne's music has more substance.
It has more substance, but I disagree with you were talking about with rap because some people
rap, of course it's better.
Okay, you're saying that Drake. See, the way I see it is, Lil Wayne's music will I see what you're saying. Lil Wayne's music will last longer, but for the time being, Drake might get more plays and have a bigger audience because he does things differently and he switches up his style and it's not just hard rap.
Yes, that's why I'm saying
people
but that's for now. That's for the
Drake is better.
Better? Are you saying he's better
in terms of like we were just talking about going lasting longer? Lil Wayne's definitely he's done way more. He's definitely
Who's a better rapper?
Rapper? Lil Wayne, duh. In terms of actual, like, we talking about quality and going further.
I don't think he was saying.
In terms of, like, we just
not
said.
stupid.
Okay, so to answer, Drake is probably going to make the bigger boom for the times being like now. But I'm talking 20 years from now, there's no way in hell Drake will get the same recognition as Lil Wayne will 20 years from now. No, because we like that music now, bro. You think niggas gonna go and listen to Hotline Bling in 20 years?
No, they'll listen to something like Nice for What rather than...
I don't know.
Okay, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. Think about that. 6 foot, 7
There's
foot.
more of an audience for the melody type music where somebody's singing than somebody that's rapping.
Yes, that's the whole point. So that can go further because it's actually quality.
Reaches a bigger audience with more singing.
But that stuff going to get played out.
No, rapping will get
That's
played
what
out.
probably
When you go to
Michael
a cookout,
Jackson.
what are the same songs you hear?
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, whoa. Exactly. People still play that stuff. You might think it's gonna play it out. Yeah, some of
I'm talking
Drake's
about
music
Drake's
will.
style will get played.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever heard Lil Wayne being played at a
like,
cookout? Now, say you have not. You heard Drake music being played. You heard Drake music, you know, like...
Drake has summer anthems, all that type of stuff.
Like, Drake music has further room to
most
grow.
of Drake's music will fall out of line, but the core, he'll have a core 3 or 4 songs that will get played.
Nobody has all or majority of the songs
Exactly.
lasting.
Almost. Michael Jackson almost does. Not all of them, but a good amount, bro. Ridiculous.
Not even Michael Jackson. He has a lot, but not
What
all of
music
it.
do you listen to?
Pop.
I like pop. I used to like pop a
I
lot.
listen to all this. Michael Jackson, nah, I have all this.
I didn't say...
But yo, he probably has the most long-lasting bangers. I will say that.
Because he actually has talent.
He has
Sings.
perfect pitch.
Lil Wayne actually does not...
Please,
let me watch my words.
Please say Lil Wayne
Okay,
does not have talent.
Lil
We
Wayne
will
has
fight.
talent, but it's not terms of talent. I see talent as... That's why I love back in the day, like in the 30s, when it actually could play the saxophone, really had to show out because they had to do better than the white man because they actually really had to physically be talented. What's that recent movie where the guy played the piano?
What?
Okay.
Y'all haven't seen it? It was...
Oh, you talking about?
Green Book.
Yes, he had to play the piano. That was
Nice.
talent. Like you actually have
Okay,
to
but
step
that
up.
doesn't necessarily
You
mean
rapping
anything.
and actually making
Talent does not always because Prince had more talent than any musician of all time.
Whoa.
It was one album
You
Prince
don't know
did.
about Prince.
You don't know about
I
Prince.
do know about
He
Prince
played
a little bit.
every instrument on every song on his album. Every
That's
single
ridiculous.
instrument. But he didn't have as much clout as Michael Jackson. He never had as much clout as Michael Jackson. So it's not just about having the talent, because he could sing too. He can hit high notes like a ridiculous.
Then you can say the same thing like Chris Brown.
Technical difficulties.
That's fine. It's
No, it's not.
I mean, could charge it and then add it. Just take a little break and let it charge a little bit. Probably lasts us another 30 minutes on like a 5-inch.
Can't you plug it up somewhere over there? Like,
No, you have to add it.
I have to add what?
You have to add it. The piece to it, you have to add it and charge on that mechanism.
It has a battery.
Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't just plug in. It's up to you.
I have an
Because now it's going to look
extension cord.
different.
Yeah, he has an extension cord.
I have an extension cord.
No. Literally, you have to take out the battery and plug it into that
Oh,
in order for it to work.
Oh, you don't know how to work that thing?
what do you mean you don't know how to work that thing?
That's not yours?
It's
No,
mine.
that's his.
Oh.
I mean, I don't care. The light, it's fine to me.
I mean, it's
I mean,
just going to be a difference
these
in
lights right
perception
here.
when you look at
There's lights right here.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. Oh.
This is a good time to cut the video.
Yeah, I'm about to say cut the video. I want to finish talking, but I don't want to mess up the conversation.
No.
What?
I want to finish digging you. All right,
Yo,
back
Prince
to music
really
real quick.
made.
I understand that. Prince, man, maybe I don't know too much about it. Okay, I'm going to talk about Travis Scott for a second. Back to the whole legend stuff. Travis Scott, you can clearly see, has a deep passion for his fans. And this is what I forgot to mention. It's about,
Legend forever.
yeah,
Guaranteed.
he really, it's ridiculous. He
It's
actually
already
cares
locked in.
about his fans truly. And that's another thing I see. If you really are supposed to be legend to somebody, you need to really show a lot of care and love back to the people who look up to you. That's how I see it as a legend. If you actually show love, and actually, that's why I was talking about personality, Michael Jordan. That's why I don't see it like that, because I've never seen him do anything for the shoe game. I don't even think he really cares about the shoe game. In my opinion, I've never seen him really, like all this and all that. I don't see him showing love back to his fans and audience that claim he's the best and love him and all that. I'm not saying he's not the best, but it's like Travis Scott, I see he literally pours his love out to his fans. And that's what I see. Like Curry, I can see it, tell he loves his fans. And I just don't see that with Michael Jordan. That's why I can't consider him a legend to society. Right or wrong? You have something to say back.
There's no flaw in the argument. It's just an opinion.
Yeah, that can't
That is
argue
an opinion.
that. That isn't an opinion.
The truth.
You saying you don't see his love? Because my whole thing, like, the way people interact with their fans, to me, is different. Now, like you said, Young Boy is a special case. Because that nigga blatantly says, I really don't care about my fans, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, yo, people are different in the fact that they show love and they show caring differently. I like, people are not like us. Steph Curry is one of those people, he just has that bubbly type of personality where people want to be around him. Travis Scott does that because he went through feeling left out and went through feeling neglected, so he wants to make sure none of his fans feel that way and that he cares about them. I'm serious.
You know, it was bad when we both looked at each other at the same time.
They always do that.
Like, what's this nigga talking about?
This nigga we're talking about. Okay.
But I'm saying, yo, people like Michael Jordan, bro, that whole demeanor, that whole attitude when it comes to dealing with people is completely different. So they're not going to show you the same. He's never going to show you the same type of like love to his fans that the Steph Curry will be like, oh, I'm always smiling all the time. No, his whole demeanor for most of his life was, I'm the hardest working person. I'm a killer. I'm gonna work harder than everybody else, and I'm gonna make people afraid to come deal with me. That's how his whole demeanor. Okay. But Ray Lewis is not necessarily I don't know.
He's not what?
I was gonna say a nice person. I don't know if he's a nice person.
Oh, I thought she was gonna say something else. But
what?
Not just.
But Ray Lewis, even Ray Lewis' character is different because Ray Lewis was Michael Jordan's mentality was all about being the best. Ray Lewis' mentality was all about motivating the guys around him. Take things like he was an uplifter in a sense.
And to be the best.
Yeah, he was.
Somebody
Yeah, he was trying to knock people's head off.
But you read the book, didn't you?
Of course. Some people
read his book?
No. Some people,
I knew you did. Because you never got a chance to do it. Come on,
some
bro.
people just have different, like you said, some people are not good at dealing with such a large fan base and having everybody around them. Some people like it, some people don't like it. So I don't get it. I just don't like that criticism of Michael Jordan.
Criticize.
What did I say?
My bad.
No, that's just criticize.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, my next question, right? So this is another one question. Let's do this one. So had a millionaire come speak at our church before. This is a while back. He's a millionaire and he's I forgot what it's called, but he's basically a top 5 speaker in the world, and he was at the church. But anyways, he states that to him there's 5 different levels of thinking. Which do you believe is the most important to get to success at this point in your life? Endogen, which is thinking day to day. Month to month, which is thinking month to month, of course. Year to year. Decade to decade, or generation to generation.
What's most important?
Not necessarily which, because obviously the most ideal would be to think generation to generation, but to where you want to get right now in this point of your life, what's the smartest way for you to be thinking?
Year to year. Easily.
Year to year.
Can you explain why?
Because all my major goals take place over years. I don't have like a goal that I could do in a day or a month right now, like not a big goal.
I don't have a goal where it's like I want to be 50 and doing such and such type thing. It's more of my major goals are set out for between now and graduation of college type thing.
That's nice. Major goals from now to college. That's mine too, but not a lot of people have that.
Year to year.
Airhead.
What are you talking about? You dick.
What?
How come he gets... I said the same thing.
Sorry.
But he's talking about what he said. You said your goals are...
I'm from year to year.
From year to year.
He was literally saying...
You know what that is? Emotional.
They're going to start crying.
You give me no fist bump. So year to year. Everybody thinks year to year.
So you want to talk about... Like,
So he's classified, this is how he classified each. He said month to month, that's the poor, and they basically repeat the same scenario because it's basically like.
My mom told me about this.
Middle class.
Look,
That means I'm middle class. If we go from poor to class.
Because the poor.
It was day to day.
But those he thinks those people. Can y'all listen to me for a second? So the month to month thinkers, they're basically repeating the same scenario over and over. It's basically like living check to check. That's what that's basically seen as. Year to year, he sees that as the middle class because you're kind of thinking long term in a way, but you're not thinking like, okay, let me build something for the long run. Decade to decade, he considers that the rich people, and then
I was gonna say decade to decade.
generation to generation is the wealthy people, the people that have generational wealth.
So they already have a strong foundation.
Yeah, I think about it like this. So Warren
Buffett.
Yeah,
I was
about to say buffet. I just stopped myself because I'm hungry. Look, so Warren Buffett, his money is set up for generationals because he has it to where he's invested for the very long run and he gets paid through dividends. Mm-hmm. Simple stocks, though. Get paid through dividends. He just has his money, doesn't touch it, and gets paid through the companies through dividends. So that's generational, and you set up for long run. Like I said, it's hard to get to that phase. It's all about your foundation. A lot of people can't have.
How many people are at that phase?
Exactly.
So you believe you need to build up, correct?
You cannot go straight to thinking generation to generation. You have to go. You have to I get what he's saying, but you have to follow the process.
No, I'm not saying. He didn't say you have to. You can only think this way. I'm just saying you have to. You believe you have to build it up, correct?
Yes.
So do you think you have to start it thinking day to day?
It depends on what your resources you have when you're first born, or what you have now. Some people don't have to think day to day because they never was in that situation where they had to think day to day. Some people don't have to think month to month. Some people just have the resources to be able to think year to year or decade to decade.
Some people are born.
I don't think
it's to an extent it's about resources, but even if you don't have the resources, you don't have to think day to day.
It's like vision and mindset.
Bro, because if you think day to day, it's like, okay, if I eat tonight, okay, we're good. And then you start the next day, oh shit, I gotta make sure we eat tonight. Oh, I gotta make sure we eat tonight.
So if you don't have that, if you don't have food readily available to you, and you have to think, dang, how am I going to eat for this week?
You need to be thinking, how am I going to eat for
as a necessity. I'm saying sometimes it's a necessity to think day to day, and then when you have it set up to where you don't have to worry about eating every day, to where you let me just worry about making sure my bills is paid for the house. It's a necessity to think month to month.
The mentality thing is, if you don't have the food to eat day to day, you're thinking, what moves can I make so that I'm not worried about can we eat day to day. I'm worried about, okay, where are we going to eat next month? Where are we going to eat next month?
But the problem with that, I get what you're saying, but the problem with that is if you're so worried about what you're going to do next month, you may not take care of what you can do tomorrow.
But if you think small,
you have to.
If you do tomorrow, you would have already been playing ahead. But there's circumstances because you can go through circumstances. Now, we can play months out. But who knew this was going to happen in terms of coronavirus? You're getting hit with a bunch of setbacks. So it's hard to, like you said, you're starting low. It's, you could try to start thinking month to month if you are a day-to-day person. But as soon as a setback comes, it's hard to really think month to month.
Now you got to secure it to make sure that you can get day to day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. You have to start off making sure your day to day is good before you can start thinking month to month. Then once you can not worry about your month to month, then you can start thinking about your year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You have that much stuff.
That's what I'm trying to say.
The people who can sacrifice a month and plan for next month, their today is already within that next month, if that makes sense. So their future, they already planned out. So they sacrifice their beginning day to day because they already planned out the future.
Okay, but what's something you can't sacrifice? You can't sacrifice food. You can't sacrifice shelter. You can't sacrifice certain things. I get what you're saying, but then again, that's only making sure that I'm talking about necessities of your day to day.
Okay, I'm gonna use investing because this is what I know.
Hey,
it's a quick example. So
it's simple.
Say you had $100.
What's a nigga that invests? It's simple.
Okay, say you had $100, right? Say you had $50,
right?
And I can use $35 to eat, and I feed myself. Okay. I haven't been talking about food.
35 to eat.
Okay, say you use that 35 to eat.
Right.
But you don't. I didn't mean to say you use it. Say you don't use that $35 to eat, and you save that and invest that $50 into for next month. That investment you make now will be used for next month, and you actually have $300.
You're setting yourself up.
That's thinking for the next month. So you don't eat for this time period, so you can set yourself up. And when
So
now you're compromising your health to live to the next month.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not just necessarily health. It's more so taking a sacrifice. That was just an example.
Yeah, but some things you cannot sacrifice.
Maybe it's not.
You cannot
Maybe it's not
sacrifice
food.
eating.
Okay,
I mean, we're not. When you're thinking day to day,
you're not gonna have
$50.
Let's just say $25 a day. You have $25 a day for a week.
Okay.
So that $25, of course, it'll add up over the month. That's $100 basically a month. If all of us, we eat a fast food, especially we're young, we're eating fast food. If you sacrifice eating, instead of eating 4 or 5 times out to eat that week, and you just take that money and you invest it, you'll have more money for the next week, the next month, whatever, to invest.
Okay,
what I'm saying
is I'm not talking about in our situation, because at the end of the day, if we want to go home and look in our fridge, we're going to have food. I'm talking about somebody, because that's what I'm saying. I said we was giving the resources to where we didn't never really have to think day to day or month to month. We could go in thinking. I'm talking about someone who doesn't have those resources. So say, what did you say? He has $25 a day.
$25 a day, yes.
He needs some of that to eat. Period. So I'm saying. The first thing he's going to have to do, how am I going to eat every day? That's day-to-day thinking. That's the first thing he has to take care of first. After that, then he can go and think about
here's an example, bro. The Pursuit of Happiness.
Right.
That man did an internship for 6 months, no pay. The man was going through it. He took that sacrifice every day.
He sacrificed shelter.
If you want to build something, you have to sacrifice, bro.
Yes.
It's not. If you don't.
In order for you to build, he could have took it. He didn't need to go to that internship. He didn't need to make that. He knew that internship would have made him a lot of money in the future. He knew that. He knew he's smart. He could have just got a part-time job at McDonald's or something to keep it day to day.
Instant gratification.
He had the sacrifices. He didn't know the sacrifice was gonna be that bad until he goes homeless. But he made the sacrifices. He made the sacrifices, working hard, so he could set himself up for the future. He was taking all that time, 6 months of homelessness.
He was homeless, but he wasn't. I don't want to say his life was never in danger, because of course, who knows what comes from being homeless and everything. But I'm talking about. He never sacrificed. Food is different, because shelter is things in place where you can.
Okay, look.
If somebody nigga cannot go without eating to set themselves up for next month.
Yes.
They can. A few days they can stop. They can say, okay, I'm not gonna eat 2 meals a day. I only eat one. So
only
I can
one
save
meal a day,
$10.
bro. If somebody tells you, if I give you 20,
you're thinking that I only have 1 meal a day. I'm not gonna eat this whole week because I need to stay for the next month. I think that's how you're.
Nobody's saying fast the whole week. You're not eating the whole week.
You just don't.
No, we're not saying that.
You eat ramen noodles instead of eating.
That's what I'm saying. That's even still. But to me, right there, that's still taking care of your day to day.
Day to day is routine, bro. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying. You have to. Some people have to think about that. Do you? No, but I'm saying you have to think about that first. Is all I'm saying. You have to think about what you're going to do day to day before you can worry about. I don't have to think about what I'm gonna eat or how I'm gonna budget my thing. I know if I go downstairs, I can eat whatever. I got snacks, food, whatever in my mouth.
But
you're saying you have to think about what you. So you're saying even still, if I cut 1 meal a day and eat ramen noodles and not go out, cool. That's still a thinking day to day.
Everybody has to think day to day.
No, not about certain things.
Yes, they do, bro.
No.
Name one thing you don't have to think day to day doing.
Am I going to eat?
What?
I don't have to think how.
I don't have to think.
How
you saying is, I don't have to think when I go downstairs.
Where you gonna get?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's what you're saying. You have to set yourself up. So eat 1 meal a day and eat ramen noodles.
Okay.
That's still a
but
thought.
some people.
I don't have to think
okay, that's how your scenario. That's your specific.
That's the scenario you gave me.
Some people.
That's the scenario.
I'm saying within my scenario that I gave you, that is your perspective.
No, he's giving a
scenario. Listen, some people might not have somewhere to eat every day, but they know they're gonna find somewhere to eat because there's food all over the place. They might not know there's food.
How are they gonna find somewhere to eat if they don't have money to pay?
See, now he has to take more time. Now he has to sacrifice more time of his day to go find something to eat.
Okay, all right.
Jay doesn't have to sacrifice anything.
Exactly. I'm saying, me personally, the situation I am in, I do not have to think about day to day how I'm going to eat, where I'm going to stay, blah, blah, blah.
We're not talking about you.
I know, but even in your scenario, right, you're saying, even still, you have to think day to day. So I'm not saying you have to act on it, but I'm saying first, you have to think, okay, how am I going to take care of myself every day health-wise? You're saying if you eat 1 meal a day and go eat some ramen noodles or something, that's still day-to-day thinking for now. Then once you know that's
You
secure,
think about what you're gonna eat every day.
Oh,
say it's not a homeless person,
okay,
bro.
I'm not talking
in a
about
ordinary lifestyle, bro.
Listen. I'm not talking about.
You're taking it the extreme homeless. We're thinking about normal. Oh my God, that sounds bad.
I'm not saying think about what I'm going to do. The question is how. This is how we're thinking. So the scenario you gave me, the person's thinking about how they're going to do it. Of course, you have to think about, okay, what do I want to eat today? I'm saying I never think about how I'm going to eat. I never think about how I'm going to live. I never think about. That's the question.
What I'm trying to say is
the question is how
the question is
how do
you
think?
keep talking about the scenario. Some people don't have it set up where they can, but it's exactly what it's talking about. It's the way of thinking. So if I'm not set up to be able to eat every day, I need to be thinking, how can I better myself so I'm not continuously going through this for a year? So I'm not like,
I'm not saying don't. I'm saying, but in order to do that, you first have to make sure your day-to-day. So you have to think about, okay, how can I improve my day-to-day so I can start thinking about how I can think about my food. You can't just skip it. Is what I'm saying. Regardless of what you do, you have to think about how you're going to do it.
Bro. You're taking this too literally, bro. Jeez. We're saying make sacrifices.
Exactly. Let's still think about how you're going to do it. Is it not?
Oh my God. We're not even talking about how you're going to do it. Who cares about how you're going to do it? It's still the fact that you need to make sacrifices so you can think month to month. It's overall sacrifices.
You're down here. He's thinking too deep into it.
I know.
You're thinking too deep into it. You're like,
I'm not
okay.
thinking too deep into it. I'm saying
I wake up. I still have to think about, okay, I'm going downstairs. What am I going to eat?
Exactly. Do you think about how you're going to eat? You don't think about
how you're going to get the food. You know the food is there.
Have you ever
now you have a choice about what am I going to eat.
Do you think about how
you don't have a choice about
if you want to drive
right
to go exactly.
Okay, when I lived in my dorm, there were some nights I'm thinking, how am I going to eat? Yes.
Was that due to lack of resources or lack of preparation?
Lack of
Nah. There was food.
At times.
You didn't like the food that was served on campus.
Did you not like the food that was served on campus?
You didn't like the food that was served on campus.
Did you not have the ability to get food?
I just never ate the
because you chose not to eat the food that was served on campus.
That's a choice. I'm saying
so you had the ability to choose that. Some people didn't have that.
I'm saying,
bro, you're still thinking too far.
You're saying, we in this together.
You're thinking,
like y'all are still thinking too far into normal circumstances.
So no matter what, even if the worst of circumstances, if you're homeless, I'm sure that person has a job because they're not. I'm sure if you're homeless,
what? Zach,
shut up.
I was with you. I'm sure you have a job.
Wait, let's have this conversation. All right, wait. We're here, buddy.
Bro,
shut up, Zach.
I'm talking about a homeless person that's trying not to be homeless anymore.
Okay, bro, that is difficult. Okay.
So what are you saying, buddy? How am I thinking into it?
Okay, let's just think about, say we're middle school.
Right.
And let's just say high school. Some people in high school, they were thinking about, okay, what shoes am I going to get? Say they have money, they think, okay, day to day, okay, as soon as I get this money, I'm going to spend it on this today. I'm going to get food. Me, on the other hand, y'all know me, I always invested. I had my money, didn't spend it on that. I waited and invested my money.
Sacrifice the instant gratification.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Not going deep like that, homeless. No.
I'm saying
how to feed my family and all of this.
But that's only because y'all don't have to. I'm saying the reason I'm saying this is because some people have to think like that because you knew you were going to eat, you knew you was going to have clothes, you knew you was going to have a place to sleep. Some people don't have that. So in that case,
how am I going to make sure this school lunch?
So I'm saying in that case, you have to make sure your days. But all I'm saying is for the people who don't have that luxury, you have to make sure your day to day is good before you can start thinking about month to month, year to year.
Okay, but even in that scenario, you can make sacrifices here and there.
Yes. But you still have to think about how you're going to do that. And that's a day-to-day thing.
Like, you can sacrifice eating one day to spend $10, say it was an application fee for a job. That's what I'm saying. You can sacrifice.
But that's day-to-day thinking.
Oh, bro, I'm saying you can sacrifice your day-to-day thinking to get to month-to-month thinking.
That's what I'm trying to say. You have to handle one thing before you can get up and go.
Whoever said I was going against that?
He did.
He pointed at nothing. He had both fingers going one way. You're not even talking about when did he say that?
He said it at the very beginning. You said something. That's how this whole argument started. You said something to the extent of sometimes you cannot worry about your day to day to worry about your month to month.
No, I said you need to think longer because I see thinking day to day as thinking small. and I don't want people to think small.
But sometimes you have to.
It's less planning.
Initially.
No, thinking day to day,
Initially.
you're not putting your mindset to plan and execute
You
for the future.
planning
Your future, at least
a
how
day is so short. That's not really planned.
So for me, thinking because I'm not talking about actually.
Not
I'm
planned at all.
I'm thinking day to day. Like, okay, what I'm gonna do this week? What I'm gonna do that week? Because it's day to day, month to month.
Week. That's week.
Yeah.
You just said week. You never said day.
Day to day to me is okay. What am I going to do these days of the week? Because it's day to day, month to month. He never said a week to week type of thinking because that's stupid. It's day to day and week to week are kind of like the same thing to me.
I want to disagree, but I can't think of nothing right now. But I don't know about
Exactly.
I don't stand.
I'm saying some people initially they have to think day to day before they will be able to think month to month, year to year. Like it's not nothing that you could just I'm going to go start thinking month to month now and not worry about what I'm going to do each day. They don't have that luxury. They have to worry about what they're going to do each day. We don't. I don't have to worry about how I'm gonna eat, how I'm gonna get home.
We'll come to a compromise and we'll say,
I ain't no damn compromise. I'm not changing my perception.
You are because
you're wrong.
you said
No,
you have to think day to day, but I consider it week to week, so you already changed your perspective.
That's
Stupid.
not
Dummy.
what I was saying the whole time. You dicks.
You know, we're not saying that though.
You
Shut
said day to
up.
day, day to day,
Look
day
at
to
your
day, day
cousin
to day.
because you know you're
I didn't
wrong
cuss.
and incompetent.
I said shut up. That's a cuss word?
Before that, you said the P word.
Next question.
The P word?
Next question.
But we'll call the neutral thinking of what we're both talking about. We'll call that paycheck to paycheck because that's bi-weekly. I do believe I can agree with the fact that you shouldn't think day to day because that's so small. But you can, at the beginning, you can think bi-weekly. Okay, what am I doing this week? What am I doing next week? What am I doing this week? What am I doing
And
next week?
a lot of people that are homeless or were originally day-to-day thinkers and just one day they messed up. I ain't gonna talk about how you got homeless. I'm just saying a lot of people who had the same mentality as day-to-day thinker wouldn't know how to handle month-to-month thinking. So
because I'm an investor. If I'm thinking day to day, it's like how can I max my profits today? I'm probably gonna blow up my account trying to do that every day.
Yes.
That would be very stupid.
Like,
if I think
me
month
and my
to month
group, we
or
think
year to year,
Listen, I'm only talking about day-to-day thinking when it comes to the necessities of life. Like food, shelter, water, things like that. I'm only talking to day-to-day thinking when it comes to that. Obviously, y'all not in a position where y'all need to think day-to-day. Because y'all don't need, y'all necessities in life are taken care of. Exactly. So now if you're thinking day-to-day, that's initially on you. That's
no,
not
we
your
are
fault.
not set up to think month to month.
Look, if
We're in this life where we get put in.
If all your necessities are good, you should be able to think month to month, year to year.
Okay, only people that think month to month. Well, this is just common. Okay, think about what you want to do with school and think about the future you want to head towards. It's never actual month to month thinking in terms of
next month I'll do this.
Do this and
Next
actually.
month,
That's
I'll
why
do
I
that.
say year to
It's
year.
never like that. But it's not really. It's never like that. People just say, "Oh yeah, you need to make sure you graduate college and you make sure you got a good job." That's basically the main things. Nobody forces you to do month to month. So y'all saying that we're automatically we're in a position to be month to month thinkers. No, there's a lot of people
Y'all
who
are
are
in
just
a
like
position to
no, we're not.
Y'all are in a position, whether you capitalize on
there are
that.
plenty of people that most people actually are not month to month thinkers. They're day to day thinkers. Most people who
I
are
never
comfortable.
said they aren't. I'm saying you are in a position to be able to think month to month. Right or wrong? Are you in a position to do it?
I'm not.
Are you in a position to do it? Do you are you worried about anything in your life, like as far as food, water, clothes?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
So you're in a position to think
Yes,
month to month.
we
That's
are.
what we're saying.
Some
People are in a
people
position,
aren't in
but
that position.
Thank you. Some people don't have that.
Look. So if
Shut up, Jack.
I must have got to your head. Look. So basically, what I'm just thinking of as an example, if I was to go down to Baltimore City,
Right.
and I would give a homeless person,
What side?
it don't matter. If I'm just going down to Baltimore City and I go and I hand a homeless person 3 meals. If they're thinking day to day, they're thinking, okay, I have 3 meals for today. If you start thinking bi-weekly, it's like, okay, I have this meal for this day. I'll eat this meal Monday. I'll eat this meal I'll eat the next meal on Thursday. I'll eat the next meal the next week. Because they don't know when they'll get their
exhausting
next...
your resources.
Exactly.
The whole point is leveraging out your resources and creating a better opportunity.
What you have. Because if you
Yeah,
think day to
and
day,
creating more.
you're gonna blow those.
Or
quickly.
it's like rationing, bro. You don't eat all the food in one day. That's hoping I can get another blessing the next day.
But to me,
You think,
that's still
okay,
a
this is all I'm gonna get for the next month, so let me stretch this out. So that's what I believe we're in the same mindset. Like day to day, month to month. You spend all your resources. Like, make sense?
But you have to. My thing is, you have to still make sure you are good each day. So say you give them 3 meals, and what did you say?
I said to eat Monday, Thursday, then the next week.
That is a day-to-day thinking. Because you're thinking about what I'm going to do. That's not a month. The thing is, you go from day to day to month to month. So anything that's not a month,
if anything, that's not
to say. But at that point, that's when you're getting too literal. Now they're saying that monthly is spreading out your resources.
I'm not literally saying spread three meals over 30 days. I'm not literally saying.
Okay, so what is monthly thinking? Is monthly thinking from what I'm going to do this month or how I'm
going to do longer term. So basically, I would consider monthly anything over 20 days. What? Because there's no weekly.
Then what you just said is not monthly thinking, Zach. You said he eats a meal Monday, eats a meal Thursday, eats a meal the next Monday. That's not 20 days. So what is it? Is it day-to-day thinking or is it month-to-month thinking? You dumbass.
Dang,
is it day-to-day thinking or is it... Answer the question.
I really get to your head?
Is it day-to-day thinking or is it monthly thinking?
You're getting a little angry there.
Because you just said you consider monthly thinking anything over the course of 20 days. You gave him 3 meals and you said he ate Monday, Thursday, Monday.
The example I just gave is the compromise that I was talking about. The paycheck.
That's not bi-weekly eating. That's 1 week. You said Monday, Thursday, Monday. So is it day-to-day thinking or is it...
All right, but think of this. He could have ate all that Johns in 1 day. He could have ate all in 1 day. That would have been day today.
So what's closer?
If he
8 days, is 8 days closer to 14, or is 8 days closer to 1?
What, nigga?
8 closer to 14.
You said 20 days.
Let me speak. I'm trying to break this down now.
Because Zach doesn't know what he's saying. He compromises himself.
You're mad because you're on the wrong side.
I'm mad because I'm on the wrong side. I'm right.
Look at you. You're blushing because you're wrong.
I'm blushing because I'm right. I'm blushing because I'm right.
Look at you, can't stop smiling because you know you're wrong.
I hate when he said that shit. He said that shit all the time. You said monthly thinking is 20 days. So anything before that is day-to-day thinking?
We're not listening to this fool anymore.
Go ahead.
So now, you got 3 meals.
Right.
If you eat all 3 meals in that 1 day,
right,
you can say that's day-to-day thinking.
No. Because that's only a day.
This nigga's retarded.
You thinking too literal about it.
This guy just said that's not day.
Now, if you spread those 3 meals out,
20 minutes.
If you spread those 3 meals out,
right,
1 a day, now we can say that's month-to-month thinking.
No, that's day-to-day thinking for me.
That's...
If anything, if there was a weekly category, that would be weekly category.
Whatever, weekly.
You're thinking in the future, bro.
You're thinking in the week.
Now,
if you do every other day...
Okay, so y'all saying day-to-day thinking is just thinking about today.
Whoa. Duh, day-to-day.
No, day-to-day thinking, not day-to-day thinking.
Day-to-day is 1 to 2. 1 to 2, that's it. Once you start thinking beyond that, that's okay, we're getting into weekly.
That's not...
If I think beyond that...
That's my thing. I was classifying day-to-day thinking. What am I going to do day by day for like a week or 2 weeks? That's what I'm thinking day-to-day thinking is.
That doesn't even make sense.
How does that not make sense? Day to day. Month to month. Not what am I going to do today, but what am I going to do this day, next day, next day, next day. That's what I'm thinking day-to-day thinking is.
Anything beyond 7 days, you're getting to the point where it's, we're paycheck to paycheck.
So my thing is, I classify anything below a month as day-to-day thinking. So if you're thinking about what you're going to do for 1 week and 2 weeks, that's still day-to-day thinking because you're getting... But once you start thinking about, okay, this is my goal for the month, this is my goal for next month, that's month-to-month thinking. This is my goal for the year, that's year-to-year thinking.
All right, I'm going to flip a coin.
Shut up, Wayne.
Next question.
So the same guy, Willie Jolley, he's a very good author. You guys should check him out.
My mom told me about it.
I didn't ask.
Fuck you.
There are...
Wow, God is dope, but you're using all this foul language.
Didn't you cuss out of here? And you're wearing
I don't think I have, or at least cuss out of you.
Let's run it back.
There are 4 types of vision, according to millionaire Willie Jolley. Which do you believe is most important? Eyesight, what you can physically see. Hindsight, seeing what happened in your past. Insight, your inner voice. Or foresight, calling forth things that are not yet in existence.
It's between hindsight and foresight. That is really... I actually like that.
It's foresight, because hindsight, you already know what happened.
No, but like you said, okay.
I mean, it's not right. It's your opinion.
Picture foresight with no hindsight. Think about it. You keep going forward, but you don't remember what happens in the past. So say you
need your experience.
Say you see a crocodile.
You
never seen a crocodile before. You think it's a sweet, precious animal. Okay, for real. You don't have any foresight, so you wouldn't know what happened.
You said hindsight.
Oh, crap. You wouldn't have any hindsight. My bad. You wouldn't have any hindsight, so you wouldn't know.
Insight.
Basically, hindsight. It's like
Would that be hindsight?
It would be hindsight. Everything that's happened, everything you is caught for you to believe in to your present state now is hindsight.
I believe insight is the most important.
No.
Because only reason I say insight is the most important because everything you have to know where you are in life. Like whatever you want to do, wherever you want to start. I think hindsight is the most. Insight is the most important.
So with your inner voice.
Yes, because it's about self-awareness, and the self-awareness is such a big thing because so many people are not aware of where they are and what they should be doing. Like, say I'm a student, right, and I want to get a 4.0 GPA. I'm good at English. I'm terrible at math. If I don't have any insight, I would say, okay, let me put all my resources into making sure I do every class the same way, which is dumb. Because if you're good at English, you can take less time to worry about your English and still know you're going to get the good grade. And then say, okay, I need to go to a tutor for math. I need to do this. It's about knowing where you are initially. Then you have to have foresight. And then you can compare your foresight with your hindsight.
Okay, but if you didn't have any, if you did
physical sight like that.
Who cares?
Physical sight.
You shouldn't even added that one. That's just stupid.
It's his vision.
Yeah, it's not.
Why do you add that?
I think insight is important.
Because it's what you literally. There's 4 types of vision. He's saying overall there's 4 types of vision. You can see.
But what's most important?
What's behind you?
Because you have to know
what
where
you think is in front of you, and
know how you
what's in here.
You know how many people don't know how they feel, bro?
Think about hindsight, though, bro. Everything where you are in life is because you learn from your mistakes, even if there was no.
You are what you went through.
But most people do. Even it's the simplest thing. Like I said, like you know not to touch a burning stove because you know it's hot. Like I said, if you're only looking at foresight, you wouldn't know that. Like you're basically.
I'm not saying hindsight is not important.
But insight.
Insight, you have to know where you are. You have to know who you are. You have to know how you feel. Because if you don't, you're just going to go about things.
But hindsight builds that. Because I see hindsight as like your steps.
Not necessarily. Because when you experience new things, you have to. It's a piece, but when you experience new things, you're going to feel something new. And if you're not aware of how you feel, like think about how many people go into careers that like hindsight in the past people told them if you do this job it'll be stable, and then foresight said there's a lot of room for promotion. I can make a lot of money in this job, but internally you don't feel happy. Think about how many millionaires kill themselves because they're not happy with what they did in life.
I don't know.
I'm not educated on that.
Yeah, I'm not educated on that. I haven't heard that happen.
A lot of millionaires kill themselves.
Money. It's all money doesn't bring happiness.
Exactly, because you have to know where you are. You have to know.
You could be working a job that pays more than anyone else in your life,
but you're not happy.
Okay, I'm thinking millionaires. Okay, you got the lottery. I don't see you
offing yourself.
Yeah,
I'm talking about somebody that's in the, probably not the lottery.
You didn't have to work for it.
Yeah,
but he's saying if you work 20 years, you work for 20 years for something that you don't even really believe in or you're not happy in, but it brings a whole lot of money.
Think about
insight. It's going to take internally to look at your situation and see why you're not being happy. And to change.
I'm just saying, yes, or to not even get into that situation. Think about in a relationship. How many people get into relationships because in the past, people told them that they should go after this type of girl or go after this type of guy, and in the future it looks good with them because you're compatible, but internally you're not happy with that person. You're just doing it because physically she may look good and she may give you everything. But I'm just saying, if you're not self-aware of what Gary preaches this all the time. He preaches self-awareness. You have to know where you are in life. You have to know how you feel in life before you start or before you go about anything. Because, it's a lot of ways to make money. But if you're not happy doing it, then what's the point? If you're not living in your purpose, then what's the point?
You're not enjoying it, then unless you in the car.
So I was just going to let y'all talk, and then I was going to share what he actually says on each. It's short, but... So he says, eyesight, you don't need it. It's just... physical. I see this. You don't need it.
Well, I'd be pretty sad if I was blind.
Not literally, stupid.
Deaf or blind.
Stop thinking of everything literally.
Would you ever be deaf or blind?
That's not the question. That's not the question.
I can see I die.
Okay, hindsight, he says some people get stuck in their past. The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence.
I don't think about it like that.
Yeah.
He says this is an opinion. There's a reason why in your car your front window is so big and your rear view is so much smaller. You're supposed to just have it as a place of, okay, I know where I've been, but I'm here. I need to focus on where I'm going.
No, you have a backward.
It's
though,
a
so
place
the
of-
cops doesn't get you.
But you have 3 different mirrors, though. You have your side mirrors and your rearview mirrors. So you
Why
got
are
3
people literally thinking about everything literally?
I get what he's putting down.
I get what he's trying to say.
It's just supposed to be. I agree with this. It's just a place where, okay, I know where I've been. I know what mistakes I've made. So let me learn and continue forward. I'm not gonna focus.
Yeah,
Oh,
coming
this
up on
is
your ass.
this is what mistake I made. Let me try to fix this. Oh, let me go this
Like,
way.
okay, who cares? I made the mistake, but like, and then it's like you said about wisdom or being wise.
Okay, continue.
Wait,
Insight.
I was talking. Forget
Okay,
you, man.
continue.
It's like you said about being wise. Like, you're never gonna go anywhere if you don't have that. If you didn't learn from your mistakes, though.
Or learn from the mistakes of others.
That too.
Continue, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know if you.
And hindsight is also about like remembering the people that was there to support you when you may not have been successful, you may not have had everything. But okay, continue.
So he says, insight. That's your inner voice. He said, don't turn down the volume on yourself. And then he doesn't even share anything about foresight. It's just like basically vision casting, seeing your dreams, planning things out. Basically,
So what's your answer?
what's my answer? I believe insight is the most important.
My God.
I have one more question.
Mhm.
If you guys have any questions after that, you can ask. If your life is about to end, would you rather spend your life trying to preserve the life you have left or trying to make the most out of what life you have left?
Say that one more time.
Can I ask the question?
If your life is about to end, would you rather spend your life trying to preserve the life you have left or trying to make the most out of the life you have left?
Make the most.
We asked this on Queen and Slim. That's what
I don't get it though. When'd you?
If he's asking the question wrong, but this is his podcast. If your life was trying to end,
If your
Oh, you're trying
if
to
your
change
life
the
is
updating?
if your life is going to end, are you going to spend that last time trying to save your own life and make sure you don't die, or just make the most out of whatever time you have
I'm
left?
going to enjoy the rest of my time.
Bro,
I'm
I
gonna
literally
enjoy
just
the
saw
rest
this
of my
movie
time.
Countdown. They download the app and it says how much time you got to die.
But they didn't. But
You saw it?
yeah, but they wasn't
Oh
trying.
wait, I'm just saying.
Was it on
to save
Netflix?
themselves.
Yet when they say themselves,
was it
they
good?
still gonna they still
Get
gonna get
got.
got. Yeah. So I'm saying is God has a predetermined time for you to die. I wouldn't want to know when I'm dying regardless because that's
Not at all.
ridiculous. Because you should live your life
I don't
every
think
day.
most
Not like
people
you're gonna die tomorrow, but because you still need to have sense and go through rules. But you still want to be happy every day. Therefore, I wouldn't try to change my life. I mean, God has my plan for it. I'm gonna live. If I did know, I'm gonna start living even better. Don't get me wrong.
So
I'm
that's
not
what
gonna try
you're
to change
saying.
it because
So not you trying to change it, but you're gonna enjoy the rest of your life. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying. You're gonna enjoy it. Yeah.
most definitely.
Some people they love. I guess you can't say you love life because love life could be used on both sides for this situation. But they love life so much that they would literally preserve because they think so highly of, oh, I need to be living, so I need to preserve. I need to try to make sure I do not die.
The real question is like trying to really follow through. If you say okay, like terms of religion, say
Hold on, before you get
You're
into the
fi-
religion thing.
1 second. Jeez.
Okay, but I'm saying because that's going to end less
It's
than
not, it's not. I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
Say you're with Christ, and you also know when you're gonna die. Would you think it would be hard to really not go do some crazy stuff, like really, but still follow through Christ's way? If you know you're gonna die, like it's sort of like
If somebody told me
say
I'm about
you
to
had
die, I'm probably gonna go do good things, not bad.
you would do
things.
good things.
I'm not gonna go.
Some people do bad things.
No,
like-
y'all would probably do some crazy stuff, but that's not the type of person I am. I would probably go do some good things.
Like,
because
I don't
of the
know
way-
about that one.
That's okay.
It's gonna sound bad, but I would do it because I would be like, I want to make sure I surely have a key to
You
get
were
into
trying
heaven.
to live out your legacy, probably trying to actually help people.
It's more about getting into heaven. I'm trying to make
So
sure.
now it's you being selfish.
I mean,
Trying to make sure that you're set up.
basically.
It's not. Well, that is selfish. That is.
Okay.
That
That
is
is selfish. Now you're like, I gotta
That's
make sure I
right.
get my key.
So you're gonna go give out the stuff just so you can get in.
No,
heaven.
no.
That's basically.
I'm not
what you're
getting. I didn't say I'm
So
giving
you
anything. I said I'm gonna
basically
go do some
falsely-
good
Now
deeds.
I gotta go. What the hell do you do?
Repent?
No. Volunteer
Oh my
at the
God.
church.
What is
That's what I'm telling you.
the heck?
I'm telling you.
But
man.
honestly, yo,
Telling you.
I think
Things are
what
not
it
the
comes
same.
down to is, yo.
Things are not
Right
the
in
same.
Said I lost it all.
I think what it comes down to is your life at that moment. I think right now, honestly, I would try to preserve my life just because I feel like I haven't
done anything.
No, I've done some stuff, but I haven't really reached my full potential. And I think it's to the point where if you know that I got my potential out there, but I felt like I walked in my purpose, then yeah, I don't have no problem with dying. But I still have more things I want to do. So for right now, I would try to preserve my life. And I know that's selfish. And
It's not selfish.
Yeah, it is, because every day is a gift, and I think we take that for granted all the time.
Yeah,
we
you
always
take it for granted.
You take it for granted too.
That's one thing I like about Joe.
I
just some weird hours.
I sleep during it. I sleep during the day and I'm up at night.
What is it? Thank you guys for viewing. Appreciate you coming this far. Shout out to all of these wonderful men I have here today. I appreciate them sharing their inputs on the topics we talked about today. Next podcast is coming soon. It will be about finances. Yeah, you guessed it, finances.
He said, "Yeah."
That'll be coming out sometime within the next week or two. We on quarantine, so might as well have some fun, get some good conversation in. Thank you guys for watching. Love all of you. Peace.
Yeah, we're on quarantine, but let's ignore social distancing.
True.